Hello Darts Nutz, welcome to Darts Review channel. In this video I'm reviewing something quite a bit different. It's the Triple 20 Darts shoes from the Darts Shoe Company. Very original. Even says on the bottom, original. So what are the Triple 20 Darts shoes? Well, I might as well show you. It'll be more easy to explain by seeing it. What it is, it's a shoe with a specially shaped sole which allows you to align your foot up against the hockey depending on how you position your foot. So it just allows you to get a perfect straight edge against the hockey. Now then, I first was told about these a few months ago by a guy on Facebook. I forget who it was, and I thought he was taking the mick actually. I thought he was just joking, and then he pointed me to the website, and I thought, oh, he's not joking, they are actually a product. And I thought, well, that's quite a novel idea, it's quite unique, I've never seen it being done before, but is it a kind of a gimmick? And I still was unsure, so I never really bothered any further. And then recently the guy that made me the Darts Nutz, the German YouTuber Oliver Mann, he said to me, why don't I review the Triple 20 shoes? And I said, well, I did already get asked about them before and I thought it looked a bit of a gimmick and I just wasn't convinced by it. Anyway, he said, oh well, I'll message the guy that runs the company. So Jürgen Block sent me a message and I said the same thing to him. I said I just wasn't convinced, it just seemed a bit of a gimmick. And he says, well, the proof is in the testing. So he said, why don't you test them out and see for sure? And I said, well, fair enough. Every time anything new comes out, I always tell people on this channel, you've got to try it yourself to see whether it works. So that's what I had to do. And he asked me to pick a pair from the site, and they have two types, which is the full leather one like this and the leather and the mesh. So I went for the full leather one, but I wasn't sure what size it was because I'm a UK size 9 and on the site it didn't quite match up exactly to a size 9. So he sent me two sizes, the 44, which is that, and the 43. I've not actually tried them on yet. They're in various colours, but I'll put some more information up on the screen. But I still, like I said, I thought maybe it's a bit of a gimmick and just something people will probably not be that interested in. But the fact is, there's quite a few professional dart players that are already using them. Devon Peterson has actually got his own branded set. Quite a few others have tried them. Ross Smith, Sega, or is it Sega Asada? The Raubi Rodriguez brothers, Mensur Suljovic, they've all used them and I think they're still using them. I think even Phil Taylor has tried them on and expressed an interest, but I think Target are not too happy. So I don't know if I should have mentioned that or not, whether it's thingy, but I think something might happen there. But when I got the shoes, I thought that did seem quite expensive. These are 150 for the full leather and the leather and mesh is 140. But like I say, when I got them, I thought, well, actually really nicely well made. And they do look a decent quality shoe. And I thought afterwards, well, it's got a unique sole, so maybe that's costing a fair bit more. So what I'm going to do is the review in two parts. This part is just going to be talking about this shoe, and what I've been doing for the past week is I've been throwing my Unicorn Ballista 25-gram darts, and I've been doing a few different challenges like I have been on my reviews lately, and I've not having any warm-ups. I've just gone straight into it, and I've been doing that without wearing the shoes and recording the results, and I've done that for the full week. So when I start wearing the shoes, I'm going to do the same thing again, and then I'll talk about it in the next video and see. Got a treble. I am a bit closer to the hockey, like, and see whether we got any improvement. Now, I'm not expecting a huge difference in just a week, but it's also going to be a case of trying them for the week whenever I'm throwing the darts and just seeing how they feel in general. I have slightly awkward feet. I'm flat-footed for one thing. I have fairly big toes and the rest of my foot is kind of narrow. So like I say, I'm very choosy when it comes to shoes. I have to find something that's really comfortable for me. So we'll see how I get on. But for now, I'll show you the close-up of them and then I'll do a quick demonstration against the Oki. Alright, just have a quick look on the site. So as you can see at the top there, it says leather, mesh and full leather. And as you scroll down, you can find more info, and basically, well, that is the idea there. Frontal, 3/4 and lateral. And I'll just click on the ones at the top here so you can see what the leather and mesh look like. So I think the leather mesh ones are kind of more like a trainer style. So you've got black with white and white with black. So and it has the price there in euros, and it tells you all the sizes there, but as you zoom in you can see it just looks more like a trainer. And let's go back to there, the full leather. So just so you can see the different ones there. So there's black and red, black and black, the blue and the white and the white and the black. So I'll put the link up to that so you can check it all out yourself. There's all the information that you need really. So as I said, Devon Peterson has his own branded pair, a black and gold pair. Looks quite smart actually. Alright, so this is the size 43 that I'm looking at here. So inside it's just shoes themselves and a little bit of paper. There's nothing else in there, just in case you were wondering. Alright, so I'll just have a look at the one shoe because it'll be easier that way. But like I said, I got the blue and it's a mix of leather and suede, and as you look at it from that side, almost looks like just a normal shoe, except for that being a little bit further sticking out. But if you look at the sole, it's very flat, and that allows you to keep all the weight stable on the ground. You've got a little bit of a heel there, and the sole itself has got an imprint of a board. You've got the bullseye, and then as you go up, you've got the 20, and it actually says 20 on there. I don't know how well you can see it. Just the light might be making it overexposed. And there's a kind of a little grippiness there, so it feels like a decent non-slip area, that, and I think it does say it's a non-slip material. And inside you've got the spongy kind of insole, so that's quite nice and soft and fairly thick, that. So you take that out if you need to air the shoes. But obviously the interesting part is this. So you've got the flat section there for front on, one there for like 3/4, and then one for the side, and then you've got these little nubs here, and that's in case you need to be a little bit more precise. If you put a mark on your Oki, and you can line them up with the Oki. And just have a look at the stitching and everything. It all looks rather neat. So like I say, it's quite a nice quality shoe, and this toe area actually feels as if it's reinforced a little bit, because it feels quite stiff and quite thick. I think there must be like an extra piece of leather there, so that might be just in case you drop the darts so it doesn't go through your toe. But yeah, it looks good quality. You got your little tab on there. I don't think you can get your finger in there to pull that, like, well, I can, but there you go. So what I'll do now is I'll put them on and I'll just have a quick look of how they align up to the Oki. Right, I've got the shoes on, as you can see, with my green socks as well. So I'll give you a quick demo and then I'll do you an overhead view. But first of all, if I was just going up to the Oki in my normal way, I'd probably be standing like that. so that's where my foot would be. And as you can see, I'm not quite fitting into the angles on the shoe. But years ago, my foot positioning and everything else has changed at the hockey since I injured myself years ago. And for a long time, I was standing like that with my foot forward. And just recently, well, I say recently, maybe in the last 8 months or so, I've gone back to kind of like 3/4, and I've actually improved a little bit because it's closer to how my natural throw used to be in my natural position. But I've put a little mark on the hockey there, but you may not be able to see it on this, but them little white nubs on the shoe, if you want to be more precise, you just line up to the mark like that, or wherever you're going to position it, whether it's the 3/4 thing stance or fully side on, and you can line it up perfectly there if that's what you want to do. Now the only disadvantage with that is when you come to the hockey, you're going to have to look at the mark instead of just looking straight at the board like what you might do normally. But like I said, my natural position is kind of like in between them two, so for me, I'm going to have to like just try it like that and see how I get on. But I'm not finding it uncomfortable standing there like that, but it's just not quite where I naturally stand. But I often get problems with my knees and my ankles. A lot of this is to do with injuries I've had in the past. I used to do Thai boxing and stuff like that, but as I've got older, the joints have started to ache a bit more. And when I first started playing darts, or restarted in around early 2000, I was standing like that side on, but I used to get a pain in the knee, so that was why I went that way. And then when I injured my shoulder, it just didn't seem to work no matter what I did, and for some reason I just ended up standing like square on because that was the only comfortable position I could find. But things have improved a bit, so like I say, I've gone back to that position now. But the shoes themselves, I mean, this sole is fairly stiff, so walking about on them, it kind of feels a bit like you got a piece of wood stuck to your foot. It's not like a super soft flexy sole, but I suppose that's a good thing because it keeps your foot stable. But the actual inside of the shoe feels really comfortable, and I was kind of surprised with that. I thought, with me having dodgy feet, it might not be so comfy, but it does feel quite comfortable. So the only thing I can do is use them and see how I get on. But for now, I'll give you a quick overhead look. Right, that mark that I put on is just temporary, but I'll try and zoom in so and get a bit closer. And like I say, if you were facing forwards, you would line it up there. You don't have to line it up, but it's just if you want to be more precise. And again, if you're going that way, I'm looking through the camera screen here, so it's a little bit awkward for me. But that's the stance that I'm going to be throwing from for the next week. And that's the side-on stance that is quite popular with a lot of people. But I still kind of find that uncomfortable on my knee standing sideways like that, so I won't be doing that. But there you go, that's the overhead shot. Right, so basically that's the end of this first part of the review. Like I say, in about a week's time I'll do a conclusion after I've played for a week in the shoes, and also the routine that I've been doing, we'll compare whether there's any difference there. They are quite squeaky like, I don't know if you can hear this. I'm just on a moonwalk. No, never. I can't do that. But that's probably because of the leather, and like I say, the new, I've gone for the 43 because I think they fit my right foot better. The left foot is ever so slightly tight. I suppose I could have swapped the two shoes around, but I think that'd be a bit daft really. But my left foot is a little bit bigger than my right, and like I say, I'm a UK size 9, so that might give you an idea about what size might suit you if you go for a set. So that's it. I'll see you on the conclusion video in maybe just over a week's time. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll leave you with a little bit of a gallery. So see you soon. Happy darting.